Arcadia, Florida was a cowtown in every sense of the word. This growing town and its county was in the midst of important changes. The county seat was moved from Pine Level to Arcadia in 1889. John Lee Jones was mayor of a very young Arcadia, and the community had a deserved reputation of being one of the toughest towns in the world. Jones was a member of the statewide Anti Saloon League, a precursor to Prohibition. The League was an organization that had succeeded in closing the doors of every such establishment in Arcadia, except one. This saloon belonged to, and was run by James Madison Williams. He simply refused to close shop. A recent revival at the local Baptist church gave Jones 100% support behind his anti-saloon mission. Well aware of Williams' strong will, the mayor knew it was time to take drastic measures. John Lee Jones rode through town and entered the hardware store directly across the street from the saloon, to obtain a few sticks of dynamite. Upon leaving the hardware store, he mounted and reined his horse back across Main Street, up onto the wooden sidewalk and rode into Williams' establishment. Williams, the saloon owner, produced a Colt .44 Russian officer's revolver, backed the mayor and his horse out of the building, and wounded him with a shot to the left wrist. Jones fled the saloon and took refuge in the hardware store as the townspeople dispersed, leaving the streets vacant. The standoff began. The exchange of lead between the two men lasted anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour, depending upon who tells it. Jones answered the roar of Williams' .44 with shots from his own .32 single-shot Derringer. The mayor's aim was truer, and struck Williams' elbow followed by one to his jaw, which ended the gunfight. The saga continued when Williams' brothers caught wind of the incident. These men, members of a prominent Lee County family, boarded a train with vengeance on their minds. Converging at the home of their wounded brother, the brothers made plans to confront Jones and settle the matter. James Madison Williams finally persuaded his brothers to avoid confrontation, informing them that it would not be just Jones that they would be facing, but the entire town, still invigorated by their recent Baptist revival meeting. Meanwhile, the mayor was waiting at his courthouse office with a .30-30 rifle, for a showdown that never happened. The saloon doors were closed, and Williams left town. James Madison Williams was later noted in December 1896 issue of the Weekly Tribune, Tampa, to have leased the Arcade Saloon in the famous Cherokee Club on the corner of 14th Street and 9th Avenue in Ybor City, Tampa. Williams was arrested and held on a $500 bond for intent to defraud, relating to his borrowing the cost of a stock of liquor. It was later learned that Williams was planning on going to Michigan to open another saloon there when he was arrested. However, Williams was still in Florida. As of May 1897, his case was referred to a referee. Not able to avoid trouble in the company he kept, Williams was named as a witness in a December of 1897 trial to a Key West murder. Williams, now known by his nickname, Matt, was in the house at the time of the crime. Renee St. John was being tried for the death of her lover Phil Thompson, a well-known lawyer, politician and ex-chief of customs in Key West. She shot Thompson in the abdomen after a quarrel. Williams testified in the trial, was questioned relentlessly by opposing counsel regarding his relationship with another witness, Thelma Earle, who resided with St. John in Key West. They questioned that Williams was married, wife still alive, not divorced, with children at the time, but lived together with Earle as his mistress in St. John's house. He declined to respond on advice of the counsel, avoiding self-incrimination. When St. John testified on her own behalf, she was questioned if she was a keeper of a house of prostitution. St. John refused to answer as to not incriminate herself, as well. The court case ended in mistrial, with a hung jury. Upon a second trial, the jury was unanimous with an acquittal, all 12 jurors voting not guilty. Williams also was arrested during that time for fighting with another witness, who was put on the stand to impeach Williams' testimony. In July of 1898, Williams was arrested and found guilty of gambling, and fined $100. Not much more information is found after that, and it is presumed James Madison, Matt, Williams died sometime before 1910, as in the census of that year, his wife, Olive, was listed as a widow.